And I'm going to turn to another topic entirely. I want to hit, we had, I think, 3 or 4 shows in which I was on the subject of whether or not President Trump should continue to push the idea of putting a citizenship question on the census. And I'm not going to go through all the detail of it again. Obviously, the leftists in this country did not want to have the census, which must be done under the Constitution, must be done next year, did not want to have a question related to citizenship because the left expressed fear that some people would not respond to the census if there was a question on the census that said, are you a citizen? Contrary to the lies of the left, some question about citizenship has been on the U.S. Census or some subset, because not every person gets precisely the same census. The question about not only citizenship, but where were you born was on the U.S. Census for 100 years. And even in the most recent years, in some subset of the people who received the census, they got the question, are you a citizen? So it is, the left has tried to lie and say this is the left's constant, go-to position, call it a racist, claim someone who wants to do something we don't like, call it racist. They were calling Trump a racist because he wanted to put the question on the census that has been there for 100+ years. And the question was on the census in very recent years. Only President Obama tried to take it off in 2010. So legal battle ongoing. I'm not going to go into the details again today because I did it a couple times, but end of the story was the census had to go to print. It was decided not to push it to get this question on the census, but President Trump instead issued an executive order. And in case you missed this, President Trump's executive order said he would sign, here's what he said, he would sign an executive order requiring all federal agencies to provide the Commerce Department with all requested records, in quotes, all requested records on the number of citizens and non-citizens in the country. So Commerce Department, the agency that does the census, is going to be given information from all other federal agencies relating to what we do or don't know about citizens and non-citizens in the country. How much the census people, the Commerce Department people can put that together, I don't know. But we're eventually going to have at least the best information we can about the number of people living within the United States who are citizens versus those with some legal status here, not citizen, but are legal, and then the number completely not with no legal right to be here at all. And, once you tally up the number of real citizens, the number of people with legal right to be here, some kind of visa or green card situation, the remaining number that turns up that is measured in the census, or, it's a fair conclusion, the vast majority of them are not legal citizens. So 2 points about this census thing. I think ultimately the battle was really hard, and President Trump decided we're going to have the census on time, so he did it. But the great thing, the great outcome for the American people of this battle over the census content is this. More and more American people started to think about, I wonder how many people are in our country who are not citizens. How many people are there? I mean, the estimates range. Allegedly, the most, reasonable, somewhere between 21 and 24 million people out of America's, whatever we are, 325 million, are here illegally. No legal right to be here. No legal status to be here. Estimates, of course, go much higher. Some go lower. But many people started thinking about the number of people not here legally. Number 2, the fact that those people, when they're counted in the census, therefore end up getting counted, and the number of people in a state that then allows that state to do a tabulation, the number of people in the state, that determines the number of seats you have in the U.S. Congress. One estimate was that California has 9 more members in the U.S. Congress than they should if we were not counting illegal aliens, people with no legal right to be here, in the census, and that number that then determines the number of people that are in Congress, and then that, of course, determines Electoral College. So Trump helped make the point for the American people. And number 3, the question of more and more people realizing, why is it the Democrats were so determined to prevent America from understanding how many illegal aliens live within our borders. This was a great gift to the entire political conversation, and Trump is going to end up with something approximating the answer anyway. In fact, the way he's done this, it may not be that different in terms of how conclusive the information is. as if he had been able to put the question on the census, because I think that the critics of that question on the census were right, that a fair number of people would say, you know, it's going to ask my citizenship and I'm just here illegally, and they wouldn't have filled it out. And so, you know, he may end up with, roughly speaking, accurate information anyway. Okay.